The answer will surprise you. How did necks grow so long? These gigantic sauropods dominated terrestrial ecosystems for eons. Their most defining feature was the neck, sometimes exceeding 15 meters in length. This required an entirely new architectural blueprint for the skeleton. The bones were honeycombed, featuring numerous air sacs to reduce mass. But this technique mirrors modern birds, but scaled up dramatically. The base of the neck bore immense gravitational strain. Complex tendon and muscle arrangements acted as tension cables. Now that we understand structure, let's explore feeding energetics. A long neck provided a massive feeding radius without moving the body. Their jaws held small, peg-like teeth, unsuited for aggressive chewing. Your ingestion was passive, food was swallowed whole for later processing. Processing required an enormous, slow-moving fermentation vat, the gut. They swallowed stones, known as gastroliths, to grind tough fibers. But this sheer biomass consumption demanded near-constant feeding activity. The neck allowed them to exploit the vertical niche unavailable to other herbivores. But the neck's counterpart, the massive tail, served an equally vital purpose. The tail could be longer than the neck itself, acting as a counterbalance. And without it, the forward-reaching neck would cause catastrophic tipping. And the proximal tail vertebrae are robust, transferring significant muscle attachment points. And these muscles provided the motive power for sweeping defensive motions. Distally, the tail tapered into a surprisingly slender, flexible rod. This structure could generate a high-speed whip crack, potentially supersonic. A deterrent against large predatory dinosaurs approaching from the rear. Herding behavior further enhanced the defensive capabilities of the group. The skin itself, thick and seemingly impenetrable, provided passive armor. Supporting this immense structure required pillar-like limbs and broad feet. But their stride was long, yet slow, due to the sheer inertia involved. Paradoxically, the head remained comparatively small relative to the body mass. Reducing head mass was crucial for minimizing the energy budget. Breathing across such a vertical distance presented circulatory challenges. The heart likely needed immense power or specialized pressure regulation systems. Specialized valves prevented blood pooling or collapse when the head lowered. Lowering the head to drink required careful management of this blood pressure. Hydration needs alone were staggering for these massive metabolisms. Their respiratory path was also unique, involving long airways in the neck. These long structures may have aided in thermoregulation, dissipating excess heat. Maintaining a horizontal neck required constant, low-level muscular engagement. The tail wasn't just defensive, it assisted in slow, steady locomotion. Dragging the tail tip could clear pathways or mark territory on soft ground. Not all sauropods shared identical neck proportions, indicating diverse strategies. Shorter-necked forms might have focused more on ground-level browsing. A vision needed to cover vast distances, compensating for slow movement. Information processing had to be deliberate, prioritizing large threats. The specialized vertebrae at the tail tip allow for extreme flexibility. Every element of the neck and tail system balanced mass against utility. Resting required careful positioning to minimize strain on the supporting structures. The pneumatic system also served a critical role in dampening impact forces. Their existence was a constant negotiation with gravity and sheer scale. But their feeding and movement physically reshaped the ancient landscape daily. The neck allowed access to foliage that no other contemporaneous animal could reach. It was a dynamic equilibrium between forward extension and posterior counterweight. The number of mobile joints in both appendages was extraordinary. Flanking predators found the tail defense system difficult to circumvent consistently. And as evening falls, the giants prepare for their long periods of slow digestion. The sheer size necessitated a life dedicated to efficient, relentless resource acquisition. Evolution selected for extremes only when the environmental pressures demanded it. But the tiny head and massive body formed a perfect, albeit slow, biological machine. But these long levers, neck and tail, were essential for surviving as titans. And a testament to biomechanical possibility, these giants ruled the ancient world.